On a sweltering summer day, a married couple left a store and headed to their car in the parking lot. The beautiful woman with the long hair kept resenting her companion. Ashton, what are you and I doing in this dump? Have you noticed how bad the service is here? The supermarket security guard gave me a fake smile. I don't understand how people can be so insensitive. She was indignant. Honey, we had to stop here to buy water. We will stop at John's Cozy restaurant for a few more miles. We need to get something to eat, or you and I will have the ultimate fight, said her companion Ashton. I'm also sick of this heat. Let's fly somewhere north, nothing to enjoy the cooler weather. The beautiful lady changed her tone. Melly, darling, it's impossible. I have an important stock exchange deal coming up, so I can't be distracted from work right now. If you want to travel, you can go somewhere with your friend Sylvia. I'm sure you will have a great time with her. Ashton waved me off. Wouldn't you? That's great. Ashton, I love you so much. I'm gonna call Sylvia right away and tell her to get ready, Millie said, pulling out her cell phone. They saw a girl with messy hair climb out from under a parked car. You shouldn't be so happy. He wants to send you away so he can spend time with Olivia. He likes her better than you because she's calm and wise woman, and you're a silly hysteric, said the skinny girl, shaking the dust of her dress. The couple became furious. They both had their reasons. Girl, who are you? Where does this Olivia live? Millie asked. Girl, what are you doing? Why you get under the car? What if you fell asleep and I didn't see you? Were you trying to send me to jail? Where's your mom? Why isn't she watching you? Ashton got angry, but the girl looked at him with a smirk. You are yelling at me as if you hadn't run out of the house and into the street yourself. But you remember very well what happened on Capitol Avenue 17 years, 4 months and 12 days ago, don't you? Said the girl and looked at Ashton with a cheeky smile. Ashton was horrified. He had never told anyone about this. Yeah, it was a crime. He had received his punishment. He felt that now the past events should be left in the past. You're a piece of trash, not a girl. Are you doing drugs too? I'll call social services right now and put you in their hands. They will teach you how to behave in society, said Ashton and started looking for his cell phone. But it was useless. Ashton, you can leave my question unanswered. Who is Olivia? Is she the girl who made eyes at Matthew's party? You swore to me that you didn't know her. How long have you been cheating on me with her? Millie burst into tears. Then the girl spoke again. And you, don't worry. It will not last long. Soon, he will have business problems. He will lose every penny. At this time, he will have problems with potency. First, Olivia will give up on him. And then you find someone else, younger and with average potency. And he will develop alcoholism for a couple of months. Then he will go to a psychiatrist. And then he will find a man to partner with and serve him, said the girl. Ashton was already wholly pissed off. The phone with which he had just paid at the car register seemed to vanish into thin air. The girl with the nonchalant look continued to lay out of all his greatest fears. Ashton realized it was time to stop her. If he could do something good for himself. But his wife beat him to it. Girl, I'll make you a deal. I'll pay you some money, and you can tell me everything you know about this uncle. Deal? Millie said, took a couple of bills out of her purse, and handed them to the girl. Yeah, you just don't come here. You come to a place where I'll tell you everything. This uncle knows everything, but he's afraid of what he knows about himself. And I will tell you a lot of exciting things, said the girl, then whispered some address in Millie's ear. Ashton already realized that things were terrible, but he couldn't leave it at that. He decided to settle this strange incident amicably. Girl, what's your name? And how do you know everything? he asked, changing his volume to a more friendly one. My name is Stephanie. I also have a friend named Cooper. No one sees Cooper. He only talks to me. Cooper tells me all the truth about people, plants, animals, events in the past and events in the future. He also tells me about who's hiding from people and what they're hiding from themselves, Stephanie said. And then Ashton had a brilliant idea. Stephanie, I'm offering you friendship. I'm ready to pay you a lot of money. And in return, you will help me in my business. It's not complicated. You just have to ask your Cooper questions, and his answers will be fed back to me. What do you think about that? Ashton asked. Stephanie sat down on the curb and thought for a moment. Then she gave out an answer. I say no, but Cooper says he will use the money. Cooper and I recently moved in with old Jenny. Jenny has a dream to build a wild duck sanctuary before she dies. Cooper said that she only has 2 months. I'd like to help Jenny realize her dream, so I will agree. Your money will go towards building a nature shelter for wild ducks, said the girl. In that case, tomorrow my assistant will come for you and bring you to my office. You give me your address and phone number, Ashton said, extending his hat to the girl. You're mistaken. Your assistant will drive drunk today, cause a terrible accident at night, and the police will take him away. So you can look for another deputy. I'll come to you tomorrow. I'll find you whatever you are. But that's if you pay me half my fee now. I want to make Jenny happy, said the girl. Ashton immediately counted out the required amount of money and handed it to the girl. She took the money and said, Your friends should not think you are helpless, mister. They don't know how to build money relations with you, Stephanie said, grinning her like a grown-up, and then looked in Millie's direction, sending her a kiss, and laughed. Millie, darling, don't you think you and I have been robbed gracefully? Ashton said, turning to his wife, and he received a hard slap in return. Do you sleep with Olivia or not? Where does she live? What's going on with her? She screamed. Stephanie was going to old Jenny's house, talking to her invisible friend Cooper. Cooper, I'm sorry we have known each other for a long time, and I'm not interested in you. Do all cats know how to speak to people like you do? She asked loud. The invisible cat Cooper seemed to answer the girl something. She paused for a few moments, nodded approvingly, and calmed down, having gotten an answer to her question. Ambitious stock trader Ashton was seriously interested in this girl's abilities. He often lost money on wrong bets and sometimes seriously dreamed of having the gift of prophecy. This girl could be a great assistant to him. As he drove home, he did not hear his wife claim, but thought about what prospects this girl's abilities opened before him. Several days later, he passed while Ashton was thinking about it, but as soon as he finished his urgent business, he headed to the address the girl had whispered. It turned out to be the usual house of a lonely old lady. Ashton was not surprised when he met his wife, Millie, on the doorstep. He was clearly in a bad mood. I'll hate you. I'm filing for divorce, she said and slapped him across the face. Ashton was utterly bewildered and decided to clarify what all this meant to the girl. Stephanie, I think you're being mean to Olivia. I don't have a personal relationship with her, and I'm not going to marry her, he said. That's what you think now. If you had left your wife go on vacations with her friend that day, Olivia will have confessed her love to you. You wouldn't have been able to resist her. She loves you for real, and you love her, but you're afraid to admit it because you're afraid of your wife. And now that she knows, there is nothing to be afraid of. Just mind your own business. And yes, don't you dare hurt Olivia. If you lose her, you will feel terrible, Stephanie said. At that moment, Ashton had never dreamed that such a change could happen in his personal life. But a little later, he stopped being surprised because everything was going how Stephanie has conveyed. It has been 2 months since Stephanie worked as Ashton's assistant. Even at the beginning of their cooperation, Ashton offered the girl a place to live in his big house, but Stephanie immediately refused. A week later, Ashton bought an expensive cell phone and was going to give it to Stephanie, but she didn't take it.
Cooper tells me everything. Why do I need some trifling toy?
She said at the time. Stephanie doesn't like to talk about herself. The main thing for Ashton is that she comes every time he needs her, and no one has ever seen her mysterious friend Cooper. Ashton had set up a particular baby office for Stephanie in his office. Inside the office is an oversized pink-colored couch, a trampoline, an artificial sand playground, many plush toys, and even an artificial flower garden. Stephanie is rarely seen here. She prefers walking around the offices and talking to Ashton's staff. Initially, it annoyed him because when Stephanie appeared, all the employers forgot about their work and surrounded her for hours on end and asking her their questions. Then Stephanie set conditions. If it interfered with her, she wouldn't come the next day. They both had to agree. Today was a typical workday. When Stephanie arrived, the boss finally calmed down. Stephanie, you and I have a practical task today. Some people from the other side are coming to visit me, and we are having dinner with them tonight at the restaurant. I need you to be here, and then you can tell me whether or not I shall trust those people. I need to know who I'm investing my money in, said Ashton. Stephanie will say today that she wouldn't come to see him again, but it seems her mysterious friend Cooper told her something, and now the girl is thinking.
You're right, Cooper. We need to hang out to this theater a little longer so that Jenny can finally realize her dream,
Stephanie said out loud. The office had gotten used to the girl talking to the invisible cat all the time. In this evening, there was a dining party in the business circle. The foreign guests were surprised to see the little girl at the table. Girl, you're wearing such a lovely dress. Can I give you a doll? I can send it to your driver tomorrow, said one of them through an interpreter.
I need a wooden doll of poachers who destroy wild ducks. Can you get one of those?
Stephanie asked. The translator was confused and asked if the girl was joking.
You don't have to translate this, since you need help understanding it.
You're no better than those poachers, Stephanie told the translator. She spent the rest of the evening watching the guests and whispering with her friend Cooper. When the guests left, Ashton was eager to hear Stephanie's opinion, but she spoke differently today.
You need to go out of the business. Otherwise, you will be sick soon and lose it already,
Stephanie said. Ashton was furious at her words. Stephanie, what the hell are you talking about? Now you can say that when you see how important my case is to me, I realize you're just a little girl, so try to understand me, please. Let's continue as before. Tell it like this. What did you see in those people? Ashton was persistent.
Cooper resented me, and he went into the woods,
Stephanie said.
If I came to my senses, I would come after him, and without him, I can't tell you anything.
Ashton thought for a moment and thought he understood. All right, let's do it this way. I'll get my driver to take you to the arcade or the movie theater or the zoo, I don't know. You decide where you want to go. It will help you relax and get you straight back, and tomorrow you and I will continue our conversation, he said. In a few minutes, Stephanie got into the driver's car and gave some address. The driver called his boss and reported that everything was in order. A couple hours later, he called again and said he would lose the girl. Ashton was furious. Meanwhile, evening was already falling in the woods along the leading freeway. Old man Morgan had spent his whole life guarding this forest. He knew every corner of it, and when he saw the little girl wandering along, he was a little surprised. "Hey, little girl, are you lost? Where are your parents?" he asked. When the girl looked at him, he saw that she was crying. Morgan walked closer to her. "Well, baby, you don't have to be so upset. They must be looking for you by now. Do you want me to call the police?" he asked.
Yes, please call and tell them an invisible cat named Cooper is lost. I must find him because Ashton expects me to keep his business partner's secret. I have to work because Jenny has to fulfill her dream,"
said the girl. Hearing her answer, Morgan shook his head and decided things were complicated here. "I get ya. You've seen too many cartoons. Let's go to my place, and tomorrow I will take you home. It'll be very cold and scary here at night, and there are wild animals here," said Morgan.
"Then let's leave a note for Cooper. He's out here somewhere, but he can find me,"
said the girl, then took out a twig and drew some fanciful signs on the ground. Morgan asked only a few questions. He thought the girl might not be mentally healthy, but it was clear that she needed adult help. Morgan's cozy cabin was close to this place. The following day, the older man woke up first and decided to prepare breakfast for this little girl. But suddenly, he saw from his window a few SUVs parked at this gate. Morgan came out to meet them. "We know the girl's here. You have to give her to us," said Ashton's driver. "Who are you guys? How can I make sure you won't hurt the girl?" Morgan asked. "Call her. She knows us. Tell her Ashton sent for her," said the driver. Morgan did as they asked. A couple of hours later, Stephanie is back in Ashton's office. "Stephanie, I hope your vacation went well. It would have helped if you hadn't gone into the woods. It was dangerous. Don't do that again. Now, let's go to work," repeated Ashton. Stephanie sat silently, tears streaming from her eyes. It was clear that she couldn't find Cooper. Her boss had tried his best to help her, but nothing had worked. Cooper didn't show up the next day or a week later, and the girl just cried. After a couple more days, Stephanie wanted to go into Ashton's office, but the man was angry that the girl had become useless. He hadn't wanted to talk to her for days on end. She waited for him to come out of his office, but when he came out, he wouldn't listen to her. "Go to my financier. He will pay the rest of your fee, and then you're free to go. My friendly advice is to go to school and study, or you will have enough adventures," he said rudely, and left. Stephanie took the money from the financier and hurried to Jenny's house. The older woman was already relatively weak.
"I don't think I have long to live. My late husband often come to me and call me to come with him. Dear girl, thank you for helping me realize my dream. Now, I don't feel bad about dying," said Jenny. "Don't hurry to die. You and I must still finish the wild duck sanctuary. You're just putting the finished touches on it, and we got some more money," said Stephanie, handing her the money. "Thank you, sweet creature. God bless you," thanked the older woman. "You have one more person to thank. His name is Ashton. I've told you a lot about him. He is the one who gives us the money," said Stephanie. Soon, Jenny realized her dream fully. And then, one quiet evening, she left this life with a smile. Stephanie was by her side the whole time. She didn't cry, but said a dignified goodbye to the old lady. "So, if I still need to remember something, I'm doing everything the way Cooper advised me earlier. Now that we've seen Jenny off, there's one more thing to do,
Stephanie said to herself, and the guests at the old lady's funeral looked at her with total incomprehension. When Stephanie arrived at the office, Ashton didn't want to talk to her, and his security guard didn't want to let her inside. Stephanie waited until Ashton left the office and headed to his car.
Ashton, remember when I advised you to leave your business? Forget it. Now you can continue it in peace. For the money you pay me, you bought yourself out of your future problems,
she said and left. Ashton was curious again. He wanted to catch up with her, but the next moment, the girl disappeared into the crowd. When he wanted to instruct his driver to catch up with her, he was distracted by the ringing of his phone. Seeing his ex-wife's name, Ashton was furious again. Millie, stop calling me. I told you before that I don't want to talk to you. My lawyer will talk to you about the estate. He said it again, but Millie surprised him. Ashton, shook on your property. I don't want anything from you. I have met another man, and I'm in love with him. He has 3 times more money than you. So forget my number and my name, Millie said and hung up. Trailing off, Ashton's new wife, Olivia, called to ask if he will be home soon. They had recently gotten married and were happy. He had no doubt how that Stephanie wasn't lying. He wanted to thank her one last time, but the girl never appeared in his life again.